Hey everyone. I'll never forget the day I held my friend's newborn while my 7th round of IVF had just failed. Someone at church said, "Just have faith. God answers prayers." I'd been trying for 8 years, spent $120,000 on fertility treatments, prayed thousands of prayers, and I was starting to believe that God's silence meant no. My husband Tyler and I started trying at 29. We figured we'd have a couple babies by our early 30s. That month after month, the tests came back negative. The diagnosis was devastating. Low ovarian reserve, endometriosis, male factor infertility. Conceiving naturally was nearly impossible. We started IVF at 31. Everyone at church prayed for us. Friends sent encouraging Bible verses. First round failed. Most people need multiple rounds. Second round failed. God's timing is perfect. Third round, we got pregnant. We cried with joy, told everyone. I miscarried at 9 weeks. The grief was unbearable, but people kept saying, "At least you know you can get pregnant." So we kept trying. Round 4, 5, 6, all failed. Each cycle cost up to $20,000. Each meant hormone injections, invasive procedures, agonizing waits, devastating phone calls. By round 7, I was numb, still praying but barely believing. Round 7 failed on a Tuesday. That Sunday, my best friend Hannah brought her newborn to church, her third baby, all conceived easily. I held her and felt nothing but emptiness. An older woman approached. "Still no baby? Maybe if you really believed, God would bless you." Something snapped. "I've had enough faith for 7 IVF rounds," I said. 8 years, 7 failures, 1 miscarriage, $120,000 in debt. How much more faith do I need? I walked out, sat in the parking lot crying. Tyler found me. "I can't do this anymore," I told him. "The trying, the praying, the waiting. I'm done." At home, I got on my knees and prayed the most honest prayer of my life. "God, I don't understand. If the answer is no, just tell me no. I can't keep waiting for something that's never coming." Silence, just like always. I opened my Bible for the first time in weeks. It fell open to Isaiah 40:31. "Those who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles." I'd read that verse 100 times, always focusing on renew their strength. But this time I saw it differently. Those who wait for the Lord. Not those who get what they're waiting for. Those who wait. Period. I'd been treating God like a vending machine. Put in faith and prayers, get out a baby. But waiting isn't believing God will eventually give you what you want. Waiting is trusting God even when He doesn't. I started seeing a Christian therapist. She told me, "You're allowed to grieve. God can handle your honesty." I'd been so focused on having enough faith that I'd never let myself actually grieve. So I grieved for the babies I'd lost, the years of waiting, the future I'd imagined. And in that grief, I found God closer than He'd ever been. Tyler and I made a decision. No more IVF. We couldn't afford it financially or emotionally. We looked into adoption. It was another long, uncertain waiting season. But this time, the waiting felt different. Not desperate. Just trusting God with the outcome. 2 years later, we adopted our daughter Lily. She was 3 days old. People said, "See, God answered your prayers." But that wasn't quite right. God didn't give me what I'd prayed for, a biological child, a pregnancy. He gave me something different. Lily is 7 now. We never had biological children. Some days that still hurts. But I've learned that waiting seasons aren't God punishing you. They're God refining you, teaching you to find strength in Him rather than in getting what you want. My strength doesn't come from answered prayers. It comes from waiting for the Lord, from trusting when I don't understand, from believing He's good even when life is hard. If you're in a waiting season, hear this. Waiting isn't God's rejection. It's God's invitation to trust Him more than the outcome, to find strength in Him instead of in answered prayers. Those who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. Not those who get what they want. Those who wait. The waiting is hard, but it's where faith grows deepest. Thanks for watching. Here are today's reflection questions. What are you waiting for right now? And how would your faith change if God's answer was no or not yet? Have you been treating prayer like a transaction with God, putting in faith to get specific outcomes, or trusting Him regardless of the result? Drop your thoughts about the story in the comments below. Your experience might encourage someone else facing the same choice. If this resonated with you, hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more stories about real faith and hard seasons.